Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys starting playmaker in danger of being a trade bait, says analyst. The Dallas Cowboys waited well into the NFL offseason to address the wide receiver position, but the team's sizable trade for George Pickens could spell trouble for some veterans on the roster. Pickens will likely slide into the team's wide receiver 2 role alongside CeeDee Lamb. Beyond these two receivers, questions surround how the Cowboys' depth chart will shake out. Jonathan Mingo, Jalen Tolbert, Cavani Turpin, Paris Campbell and Ryan Flournoy are among the veterans who will be fighting for snaps. In some cases, these wideouts could also be battling for a roster spot in training camp. USA Today's KD Drummond suggests that the Cowboys' acquisition of Pickens may mean the franchise will look to trade Tolbert. Tolbert aligned as both an X and Z last year, but with Pickens' addition, he is more likely destined for a more clearly defined role as a Z, Drummond wrote in a May 8, 2025. The composition of the wideout unit hints that Tolbert could become trade bait as he enters the final year of his rookie contract. Dallas spent a 2025 fourth-round pick to acquire Jonathan Mingo from Carolina last season. Mingo is a much different body type than any other receiver in the Cowboys' wide receiver core. Lamb and Pickens stand 6'2" and 6'3", respectively, and both check in at 200 pounds. Tolbert is 6'1" and 195 pounds, while Ryan Flournoy is the same height and 200 pounds, though visually and playstyle-wise is a much thicker wideout. After a slow start to his NFL career, Tolbert's third year became the wideout's breakout season. Tolbert posted career-high numbers with 49 catches for 610 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns in 2024. The wideout played in all 17 games for Dallas in 2024, making 15 starts. Now, Tolbert will be fighting to be the Cowboys' wide receiver 3 given the addition of Pickens. If Tolbert is indeed used as trade bait, what could the wide receiver net Dallas via trade? It is difficult to imagine Tolbert landing more than a future day 3 draft pick. With such a low potential return, the Cowboys may be wise to keep Tolbert given wide receiver has not been a position with massive depth for Dallas in recent years. Tolbert is heading into the final season of a 4-year, $5.1 million rookie contract. This reality does not help Tolbert's trade value with the playmaker in line for a new deal. We want him to be a Cowboy long-term. Micah Parsons' contract talks gets honest direction from Cowboys GM Stephen Jones. Micah Parsons' contract extension was recently discussed by Stephen Jones, the executive vice president of the Dallas Cowboys. Jones stopped by Mad Dog Radio on Monday and opened up about his opinion on Parsons' contract extension. Jones seemed pretty positive about the defensive end's contract, despite nothing solid coming from the team as of yet. Parsons has been with the Dallas Cowboys since 2021 and managed 30 solo tackles with 12 sacks in the 2024 NFL season. Parsons is still on his rookie contract with the Cowboys and will hope to make more money from the team with his contract extension. I've never been one to crystal ball when contracts get done. That's just a work in progress. But obviously our goal is to, and we have visited at times with Micah, and our goal is to get him here. And I think Micah wants to be a Cowboy, and we want him to be a Cowboy long-term. Stephen Jones said about Micah Parsons' contract extension with the Dallas Cowboys on Mad Dog Radio. Micah Parsons' contract negotiations have been going on for quite some time, but it looks like the Cowboys are not ready to throw in the towel with the defensive end yet. After their performance in the previous NFL season, the Cowboys will need every bit of help to up their rankings in the upcoming year. Micah Parsons' team owner, Jerry Jones, did say some time back that the Dallas Cowboys would be all in to win, basically meaning that the team would do anything to win in the next NFL season. While the team fans interpreted it as the team would be making back-to-back moves in the off-season, Jones seems to be meaning something quite different. In this NFL off-season, Jones' Dallas Cowboys have been pretty slow and deliberate when it comes to making decisions. The team definitely made several changes to their coaching staff and additions and subtractions to their roster. However, it is also true that the Cowboys have been much slower than other teams. Cowboys should inquire about trading for Broncos cornerback Jaquan McMillan. George Pickens, Kenneth Murray Jr., Kaiir Elam, and Joe Milton have all been acquired via trades so far this offseason by the Dallas Cowboys, and they may not be done just yet using this avenue to acquire talent. After the completion of the 2025 NFL Draft, Jerry Jones hinted the Cowboys still had a couple of potential trades in the works. We now know one of those players was George Pickens, but beyond him we don't know who else they could possibly be targeting. Although they re-signed Israel Mukumu, traded for Kaiir Elam, and drafted Siobhan Revel Jr. in the 3rd round, 76th overall, the Cowboys still haven't definitively replaced Jordan Lewis. Darren Bland could possibly slide back into that nickel cornerback role, but other than him Dallas' other options currently on the roster are suspect. Whether to provide some much-needed depth in the slot or to add a potential starter, the nickel cornerback position is one we wouldn't be surprised to see the Cowboys target at some point the remainder of the offseason. And with that in mind, they should inquire about Denver Broncos cornerback Jaquan McMillan. McMillan may be the odd man out in Denver after watching the Broncos draft former Texas Longhorns cornerback Jody Barron in the 1st round, 20th overall. Barron is expected to replace McMillan as the Broncos slot cornerback with Patrick Surtain II and Riley Moss playing on the outside, creating possibly the best cornerback trio in the entire league. McMillan is a former undrafted free agent who has developed into an effective starting caliber slot cornerback. Last season he held opponents to 6.8 yards per target and had a 85.7 passer rating in coverage, recording 10 passes defensed and 2 interceptions. He was an exclusive rights-restricted free agent and received a 1-year, $1.03 million tender instead of a multi-year extension from the Broncos this offseason. That's chicken feed for a slot cornerback, and fits within the parameters the Cowboys prefer when making these types of trades. Considering McMillan is only under a cheap 1-year deal, he's a trade chip the Broncos could use to acquire future draft capital or immediate help for the upcoming season. As far as the Cowboys are concerned, giving up another late-round draft pick in 2026 to acquire a potential slot cornerback is a no-brainer.